Hello everyone, this is Tarot Queen Jamila. I'm here to do the Who's Your Enemy tarot spread or tarot reading, psychic reading for the Libras, okay? Welcome to the channel. Make sure that y'all hit that subscribe button. If you need a private reading or other spiritual work, the link to my website is below. Okay, so I've already got you guys' cards laid out, and we're going to start in order. We're going to start with card number 1. Who or what is creating problems for you, Libra? This is either going to be yourself that might be manifesting itself as an earth sign person. If it's yourself, it's your confidence, it's your self-esteem. So then that would mean that you would be your worst enemy. But then it could be somebody that could be in your life that could represent this. And maybe that's the message and the lesson from that person. So I feel like there's an earth sign person. I definitely feel as though there's some things that Libras are having a hard time moving on from. It's either their previous job or either it's a relationship with an earth sign person. So, you know, or like I said, self and self-esteem and self-notoriety and, you know, all of that. Now, what is their reason? Now, the Queen of Swords comes up, but it's in the reverse position. So this has something to do with you. Something directly related to you, or this Queen of Swords in the reverse position, it could be a person. This could be a person, another Libra. It could be another Gemini. I'm sorry, not another Gemini, but it could be another Libra, a Gemini, or either an Aquarius. Okay, let's find out more about what the issue is, because the reason is because of either, I feel like it has to do with perception versus reality. Spirit, clarify. Queen of Swords. King of Swords comes up in the reverse position. So I feel like what this represents is, I feel like it represents a problem or an issue that you have, to where maybe you're, especially if this is you, you're not seeing things clearly, Libra. You know, this is a very, very good sign that this could be you that we're looking at, that keeps coming up in the reverse position, to where Spirits is saying that you're not looking at things as clearly as you should be, and maybe you should. It can also represent this person developing some kind of mental illness. Okay. I'm sensing bipolarism or something. What is this, Spirits? Okay. So we got the Star card in the reverse position. So this also represents someone that is not, as far as health-wise, either physical health and or mental health. So if your physical health isn't good, maybe your mental health wouldn't be the best. That's not always true, though. There are some people that, you know, are sick or not feeling well, and they have a very healthy, you know, perception of it, you know. But I feel like whoever you're dealing with, it's some sort of illness that is presumed that it can't be treated. Okay, and I can sense that, especially with the Star card coming up in the reverse position. Now, for some of you, this has something to do with you paying attention to something. Again, you being enlightened about something. There's a spirit guide here that's saying to a lot of you Libras that, you know, you need to take a good look at possibly the way that you are doing things, handling things. I feel like there's something going on that you just cannot recover from. And it could be drugs or alcohol for some of you, okay? For some of you, it's a relationship, and for some of you, it's a bad job with a lot of bad juju on it, okay? In whose name do these energies work? You got the Five of Pentacles in the inverted position. So this is a, this is where you may have either, you're dealing with some narcissist, or it could be psychic vampirism, or it could be bad spirits in general. And I feel like this, again, is somehow coming from within you. Somehow. Okay? And I feel like if you could flip this upward and maybe possibly make that connection, then things will be okay. Also, I can sense that a lot of you may have lost a job due to money problems, okay, at the company. Maybe you were laid off from your job. And they just couldn't keep a full staff. Another thing is that you may be dealing with extremely insecure people, or either an extremely insecure person. Okay, because sometimes insecure people can rub off on us. All right. Now, how will they affect you in the long term? You got the Ten of Wands in the reverse position. So what I can sense is that eventually you're going to get burned out. Eventually. And I feel like the Ten of Wands in the reverse position is where somebody says, okay, hold on, stop, wait a minute, I gotta alleviate some of this stress off of me. I feel heavily burdened. So I can see this heavy burden coming up surrounding it, okay, and you feeling like you don't really have a way out of it. Spirit, give me some clarity on the Ten of Wands reversed. Clarity. We're gonna do some clarifiers on this Ten of. So the Ace of Cups comes up, which is actually very positive. I do see some sort of, I want to say, downtime for a lot of Libras, you know, and you know, again, Mercury is in retrograde. So I was thinking about doing some Mercury retrograde readings, which is probably what I need to do before I even complete these. And I might even complete these after retrograde is over. It just depends. But what I can sense is that there is going to be some kind of new beginning in the long term. But I feel like you're going to have to take a healing period. I feel like a lot of you Libras need about a year to heal. To where you just don't. You just kind of get away. You don't think about this and that. You don't worry about it. Because clearly you're worrying about something. You got a couple of other cards that are very concerning to me as far as what's going on. Because this is the whole thing. And I usually give this little speech at the beginning of the reading of these readings. Have you felt your life is somewhat created and shaped by other people or of the surrounding circumstance, no matter how much you try or how much personal power you gain, you know, or how much you try, okay? Or can you handle this, okay? Is basically, you know, what the reading is about. Just, you know, kind of seeing, because, you know, sometimes your enemies can destroy your life. And sometimes that enemy can be yourself, okay? Now, we got what influences in the past created this situation. So, again, the Three of Coins comes up in the reverse position. So, I feel like this has something to do with money. And then also, I can sense that somebody either borrowed money from you or either you lended money. It has something to do with money or either some kind of work project. It also could be a love triangle that a lot of you had, and I feel like this person is kind of hanging on and lingering on to watch you. To watch you. That's what they're doing. They're watching you. Spirit, give me some clarity on the Three of Pentacles. Here's this King of Pentacles. So this is the Watcher. This is either, like I said, I can sense heavily an earth sign person in the past. Very manipulative, doing some dirty stuff. Now, this Magician showing up tells me that somebody might have put some kind of root on you. So, and especially being that it's in the inverted position, you may need to, you know, check that. And then also, I feel like a lot of you Libras are kind of cocky about the situation. You're just like, oh, this person can't bother me. But then again, it's meant to teach you something. It's meant to break you down, and it's so that you can build yourself back up. Okay, that just, you know, that's just the reality of it. What would make them stop? What would make them stop, or what would change the situation into a better one? And we got the Five of Wands in the reverse position. So again, I feel like there's some sort of root or something that is, you know, I feel like a lot of you Libras have a tendency to have that OCD thing, okay? I feel like what Spirits is saying is there's something that needs to be dealt with. Number one. Number two, perhaps moving on. Perhaps moving on. Stop wasting your energy on it, Libra. It's not worth it, okay? So I feel like that's what, because I feel like whatever it is that you're fighting for, which I really think that for some of you, it's either a man, a job, money. It just doesn't seem like it's for you. I feel like spirits are going up. Wait a minute, you're going in the wrong direction. Libra is what I can sense. I'm going to do some clarity. Spirit, give me some clarity on the Five of Wands reversed. Okay. Queen of Cups. So again, the Queen of Cups is saying, you know, love yourself. Take care of yourself. Okay. And then the Lovers comes up. So this is where I feel like right now it's like it's going to be a crossroads this year. I feel like a lot of you Libras have been wrapped up in something for at least 5 years. Could be 9 for some of you. I'm getting a lot of 5s and 9s. For some of you, it's 10. For some of you, it's 3 years. For some of you, it's 8 years. And it seems like it's time for you to move on. Also, I feel like this is representing self-love. You're beating yourself up. You are. And you're beating a dead horse as well. That's what spirits want me to tell you. Okay. Who are your allies? And you got the 9 of Cups, but it is in the reverse position. So I get the sense that this represents friends. This represents family. This represents, you know, help. However, it is in the reverse position. So you're going to have to be self-reliant on the situation. This is a situation where you may have to just be self-reliant. Also not being negative. Stop talking negatively about others and stop envisioning others as being in a negative light. Because when you always think about negative stuff, then that's what's going to manifest in your life is negativity. It doesn't matter if it's your enemy. It doesn't matter. It can be your enemy, but you need to refocus yourself and you need to go down another path. Oh yeah, that was a very, very strong message that your spirits told you that you're not on the right path. You need to choose another one. Okay? Clarify 9 of Cups. Also, you need to be careful what you wish for, because it can come back on you and affect you. The 7 of Wands comes up. This is something that a lot of you Libras are really going to have to work through because it's a challenge for you guys, okay? And then the Chariot comes up. So the Chariot represents progression and moving forward. That is what the Chariot represents. The Chariot is a beautiful card that comes up in this. I do feel as though this is more so something that is related to self. Even if someone else has manifested to help you figure out that is what that is meant for. That is meant to teach you something. You know, anytime somebody says something negative to you. So I can sense that there are people in your life that are speaking negatively to you. You know, they're like, hey, you know, you're gonna end up da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da. And, you know, you're holding yourself back. You know, they're saying all sorts of things. Also having to do with your creativity, added with what you're doing that is fulfilling with self or satisfying. And I feel like a lot of you guys need to take up something with your hands. Crocheting, sewing, candle making. I feel like you guys should do that, okay? That'll give you something to do with your hands. What is the advice of the cards? You got the 2 of Swords, and it is in the reverse position. You're too easily influenced. You need to start protecting your head. You need to start protecting your third eye, you know, so that you're just not wide open to just any old thing. You got to remember that you're an air sign, so things can affect you very easily. And for some of you that have, you know, a lot of, I guess if you were to check your birth chart, some of you have a lot of Libra in your chart. Some of you have some Aquarius and some Gemini. So believe it or not, you know, I mean, once air sign people master, you know, their own mind, then they're good. But other than that, until then, it can be an issue. So the advice of the cards is also to make conscious decisions. You know, stop making decisions based upon fear. Okay, and quit making decisions based upon what anybody else says. Follow your heart. And then when you make a bad decision, then understand what the lesson is. You know, look inside of yourself. Stop blaming other people, okay? Because you are the one that is ultimately in control. How will the situation develop in the future? You got the Ace of Wands, but it is in the reverse position. So again, this is where I feel like a lot of you Libras, you know, especially going through the month of March, but I feel like at least going up into the summer, a lot of you are just going to be sedentary. I can also sense a vitamin D deficiency that might be pretty bad, and a lot of you that might be affecting you. But I feel like in the future, this is where you're going to feel like you didn't do something that you were supposed to do. So again, I feel like it's about the way that you know, sow your seeds. You know how they say you reap what you sow? So this is about how you cultivate your garden of life. And I feel like the Ace of Wands is representing some kind of defeat or failure, but again, it's meant to teach you something, and you just have to recuperate. Okay, because this thing that you got going on in your mind, this is destroying your body and your spirit. It's not good. That's why the Five of Pentacles shows up in your reading. It really is. And, you know, there's a lot of people that can see that, even though you're saying that it's not, you know, outsiders looking in or seeing something totally different than what you think. Okay, you're thinking that it's all good and people perceive you in a certain light. And they don't. They kind of see you as being weak. They kind of see you as being weak-minded, and they feel like they can take advantage of you and manipulate you. That's why the Magician comes up. Now, will the situation change or end? You got a yes answer, but again, it's in the inverted position. So this could go upwards anywhere to 8 months from now, which could go into the new year of 2020. Or it could go up to August, because what I can sense is that there's going to be something that you're going for, a promotion or something, and I feel like it's going to fall through. But I feel like the reason why it's going to fall through is because it's taking you in a different direction. So, you know, instead of freaking out, breaking down, getting emotional, crying about it, you have to start thinking of solutions and actually problem solving skills. Okay, this person right here, you know, they're not just a student. Also, I do see a lot of you thinking about going to school because of this, having something to do with your education. But this is also somebody, I drew a blank because I was talking too much. But, you know, it was something that I was going to compare this to. That was a really good analogy, but I lost it. So anyway, sorry. This represents problem solving is what it is. So now all of your cards coming up in the inverted position, in particular this Magician in the reverse position, this is sort of an inability to make decisions. Okay, so a lot of you guys are saying, should I go, should I stay, should I do this, or should I do that, and you're not really sure. So you're just kind of at a standstill. But I feel like you're gonna have to get up and figure it out. Do some meditation. Mercury in retrograde could be affecting the Libras right now, and that may be why your cards are all coming up in the reverse position. But for some of you, this could definitely affect you for longer term, on more of a long-term basis. Okay, so you need to, you know, kind of reason with the spirits or yourself or your own mind, and start to work through this, because there's definitely a problem that needs to be solved. And, you know, just throwing another card at this Eight of Pentacles. Spirit, give me some clarity on the Eight of Pentacles. Why is it reversed? And then what other guidance did you want to give us? Okay, see, the sun is in the inverted position. So I was saying that there seems to be a vitamin D deficiency, or maybe you're not absorbing something. Ooh, something ain't right. 8 of Swords is in the reverse position. You got repeating numbers, and then you got the 6 of Pentacles, okay, which is reversed. So, like I said, looking up around the summertime, but then I feel like you're sort of wore out. You're sort of depleted on energy. Some of you might even have something going on with your adrenals. Some of you may even have some sort of health problem, okay, that could have something to do with either your digestion, which is connected to your adrenals. I think it's, yeah, it's all tied in together. Either digestion or adrenals or stress. Definitely with the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse position, it shows that's when somebody's nerves is bad, okay? So there could be a lot of different reasons for that. It could be lack of nutrition in the diet. It could be the activities, the people that you're dealing with, the energies that you're taking in, many different possibilities. It's going to depend on the individual, okay? All right, there's your reading, Libra. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up. Again, if you guys need to reach me, the link to my website is below. And I'll see y'all later. Love and light.